Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith. You're watching this tutorial because you're trying to import a video and it won't work. This is what to do when you can't import a video. Now, the first thing I want to show you is source patching. It's not importing, but people get this mixed up all the time. Let's have a look. You're trying to bring a video into the timeline and you're not getting video, you're just getting audio or the other one or whatever. It's because the source patching is not turned on. Whenever you select something with video and audio and you want both, you need to have the left side turned on. If you have something that's just video, you won't be able to turn the audio on. That's source patching. That's not importing, but a lot of people get confused. Now let's look at the real issue, and that's you're trying to bring something in to Premiere Pro. And I've got a whole tutorial about what importing really is. So let's try to understand. You've got a video format. You have a project going in Premiere Pro. When you try to import it, Premiere Pro says, I don't understand it. I can't bring that in. There's two ways to tackle this. Try to fight windmills. Try to make sure that Premiere Pro will understand the format or just freaking convert it to a different format. If you're a professional, then you're using professional broadcast formats that already work in Premiere Pro. This is more for everyone else who has some kind of new phone, new format, or just something that won't import. So how do you convert it? Because you can't use Premiere Pro to convert it for Premiere Pro. You can't use Media Encoder because it's the same video engine. If it doesn't work in Premiere Pro, it won't work in Media Encoder. Handbrake is your choice. It's a free conversion program that works on all platforms, and it does an incredible job. I'm going to show you different output versions and tests between really high quality output like a RED file. And I also want to thank Stephen Douglas for sending me an iPhone 11 Pro, 11S Pro video. So this is a very current format, and I wanted to give that a try too. I was able to import that directly into Premiere Pro, but let's say you didn't. I'm going to take you through looking at and setting up Handbrake, and I'll have a link in the description where you can download that. And then we'll bring all of those formats in, and I'll show you side-by-side comparisons. So here's Handbrake. It opens up like this, where it has a place here to drop your file. So here's the iPhone video from Stephen Douglas. I'm going to drag that, and I could drag a whole bunch of files if I wanted to. And now it opens it up, and it's ready to convert. Just like any Adobe product, Handbrake is full of professionally created presets, and that's where I advise you go. Just use the presets, because trying to tweak these settings and turn up compression, if you don't know what you're doing, and I have no idea these compression settings, you're going to make a mess. You'll make a video that probably looks great, but again, nothing can play it back. So use the presets that are in there. There's a wide range of presets, and I'll show you right here, right in this preset dropdown. They're divided into sections: general. There's also Super HQ versions down here, the surround sound. There's also a bunch of web formats, and one of the formats I used for the iPhone was the 2160, and then I changed this from 60p to 24 frames a second because that's what Steven sent this 4K video at, but I sent it at 4K. When I say 4K, and it says 4K here, it's really Ultra HD, 3840 by 2160. But again, you can change all of this in the presets. Then there's a bunch of devices, excellent choices for Android, Apple, Chromecast, Amazon Fire, PlayStation, Roku, Xbox. And then Matroska, these are the typical MKV file formats that you can export to. And then there's the very simple production format. And what I converted the iPhone video to was this Production Max format. Basically, I wanted to create it to create a format for the people out there who have an idea that they don't want to reduce the quality of the original video. Well, this iPhone video looks amazing, but it's already highly compressed. So if you convert it to Production Max, I'll show you the file size. It's huge. And like I said, I also converted it, the same video, to 2160 H.264 Vimeo settings. So if I choose that now, and you can see it shows MP4. There's only a few formats in here, but it does cover a lot of different formats. And those 3 formats, Premiere Pro is going to have no problem with it. The overall dimensions, you can see there's the 3840 2160. And I left all of this the same. There's de-interlacing, denoising, sharpening if you want. Then we're in the video format, and I just went in here and changed it to the format that it was shot at. And these are the kinds of things that you can really mess up. You can drag these sliders all over the place, and you could make something where the throughput is that the amount of information and data that's needed to play this video back exceeds the player or exceeds the timeline. And then, of course, the audio settings, same things. If there's subtitles and there's chapters. And then you just push this big start encode button down here, and the location you set down here, just click in the browse. And I put my test exports directly in this folder over on the right. There's also a queue, so you can add to the queue here. You can also open up the queue and start the queue. So if you wanted to, you could drag a bunch of files in there like you would do in Media Encoder. And then the other thing you can do is have it, when it's finished, what do you want Handbrake to do? Do nothing, shut down, sleep, hibernate, lock system, log off. So some people will run Handbrake on an unattended system, maybe for a few hours or overnight, and they don't want the system to stay awake. So once Handbrake has finished its job, your computer will either sleep or shut down or whatever. I've never done that, but that's one of the formats. So look at this. This is 157 megabytes as original iPhone format. And let me show you, that is the max quality format, 1.75 freaking gigabytes. Can you tell a difference? Nope. Here's the Vimeo format, 155 megabytes. No, I couldn't tell much of a difference. And then to really get to work on this, I exported out from this is a sample file from Red Digital Cinema, because I thought if I'm going to test Handbrake, I want to test Handbrake with the biggest, most gorgeous format that I can get, which is giant 6K red format. You can download this from the red side. I'll put a link in the description. They allow you to mess with these test files, and they're real R3D files. They're gigantic, and they also have a massive amount of color information. So I went to an intermediate format because Handbrake doesn't understand red. So I went to a QuickTime Ultra HD 422, so a high quality, big quality format, and then I spit it out through that so we could see it. All right, so let's go into Premiere Pro and look at back-to-back versions. So I've got my scopes open over here, and you can get those in the window menu, my Lumetri scopes. I have my scope set at 32-bit floating point, and I've not clamped the signal. So by default, these are always on 8-bit. It takes less computing power to show a scope in 8-bit. But these red files are far beyond 8-bit, and they look beautiful when you turn them on. And you'll really see a difference here in the middle in a second. Okay, so here's what I've done. I've got 3 different versions here, and I've got them labeled. So this is the native R3D version here. This is the ProRes 422 HQ Ultra HD. And this is a NVIDIA H.264 format. And this ProRes version was exported out of Premiere Pro. So the only one that is different is the H.264 down on the timeline, but we'll be able to see this, what this looks like. So I'll bring my playhead to the beginning. I'm going to turn on my comparison view, and typically the comparison view is side by side, but I'm going to turn on the vertical split. And so the current frame is over here and it's native R3D. The reference frame, the one we're looking at here, is the ProRes 422, and I can move this around and you'll see what happens. Notice what you're looking at here. This is what happens in compression. When scientists are developing video compression formats, what they're trying to do is to balance the amount of information they can throw away and yet not have a human eye see what they threw away. It's a very fine balance, and they do a remarkable job, because I'm going to go to full screen in a second and show you this. Okay, so that's the ProRes 422. Now let me jump over to the NVIDIA H.264. Look at this. Again, it's got the same thing. Now, one note I want to show you here. Watch when I jump back. Look at the gamma change. See that? Those of you who know the QuickTime gamma change, it's just part of QuickTime. Anyway, let's go back to this format here. So we can see on the scopes are telling us that there is a difference. I'm going to press my tilde key and jump into a larger view here. This allows me to keep my split screen. And I want you to, now you're looking at this on YouTube, so it's already compressed. You're not seeing native R3D. I am, and I cannot see a difference between these two. Now there definitely is, but it's not something that you can easily see, even on the color charts over here. All right, let's go to the iPhone format. Same thing. Stephen also held up a chart here. So the same thing, we've got three formats here. This is the original iPhone format, and you can see that's on the right side. And then we've got the Handbrake format. This is the Handbrake Max format. So let's jump to that. And I have to jump partway through, so I've got to manually type these in. So we go to 5705. You can see a little bit there on the left. So this is the one that is, so we've got original iPhone, and the left side is Handbrake Max. So this is the one that's 1.75 gigabytes in size, okay? So now let's go to the Vimeo format, 1.3316. So now we're at Handbrake H.264, which is basically the Vimeo format. And look at that. It's hard to see a difference. And sometimes it takes a moment for the scopes to catch up. Maybe I can just stick it on 8-bit right now. There we go. Now we're looking. And you can see a little bit of difference there from the original iPhone. In the scopes. So the scopes don't lie. The scopes are showing you, yes, there is a slight difference between the two, but can you see it? I can't see the difference. So the whole reason I'm doing this is to get you to trust converting stuff to a different format rather than fighting and fighting, because I get this all the time. Someone will spend too much time wasting their time forcing a format that won't go into Premiere Pro. If it's not going to work, and I've got a tutorial about working with projects, problem projects, and resetting by holding down Alt and Shift or Option Shift when you boot Premiere Pro that can clean the cache out. Sometimes that allows you to import that in. But what I'm showing you is if nothing else works, then just convert it in Handbrake. Handbrake is something that you can now rely on. It's constantly being developed and upgraded. There's new updates all the time. I have a ton of faith in the development group of this. It's open source and free, and they're doing an amazing job. I was blown away. I mean, I showed you red format that looked pretty darn amazing as H.264 directly from Handbrake. So there you go. That's what to do when you cannot import a video. Hey, if you're new to Video Revealed and you found this informative, take a moment and subscribe. If you want to support us some more, you can do that through PayPal. There's a link in the description of this video and one on the front of the channel. You can also visit us on VideoRevealed.com. Till next time, I'm Colin Smith, and it's my job to help you understand when it makes no sense to battle a windmill.